Have you ever had one of those moments where everything feels like it's collapsing at the same time? One problem turns into two, two turn into 10, and suddenly your mind feels louder than the world around you. Maybe plans failed, people disappointed you, money became tight, relationships became confusing, or life simply stopped going the way you imagined. If you're watching this right now, chances are you're not looking for motivation that sounds perfect or unrealistic. You just want to feel steady again. You want to breathe normally again. You want your mind to stop racing for a while. And today, I want to talk to you like a real person sitting next to you. Not like a lecture, not like a guru, just someone reminding you that staying calm when everything is falling apart is not about being strong all the time. It's about understanding what's actually happening inside you and learning how to move through chaos without losing yourself. The first thing most people don't realize is that when life starts falling apart, your brain automatically switches into survival mode. This is not weakness, this is biology. Your mind thinks danger is everywhere, even if the danger is emotional or financial instead of physical. Your heart beats faster, thoughts become negative, and suddenly small problems feel massive. You start imagining worst-case scenarios. What if things never get better? What if I fail completely? What if I can't handle this? The problem is not the situation itself. The problem is how fast your thoughts begin stacking fear on top of fear. Calm people are not people without problems. Calm people are those who slow down this mental storm before it controls them. One of the most powerful things you can do when everything feels chaotic is surprisingly simple. Pause before reacting. Most damage in stressful situations happens because we react instantly. We send emotional messages, make rushed decisions, argue, quit too early, or assume the worst about ourselves. But chaos loses power the moment you slow your response. Even taking one deep breath changes how your brain processes stress. When you pause, you remind your mind that you are still in control. You are not drowning, you are thinking. Think about storms in nature. No storm lasts forever, but during the storm, everything looks permanent. Dark clouds make it feel like sunlight never existed. Life works the same way. When problems hit together, your brain forgets that peace ever existed. But feelings are temporary, even when situations take time to fix. Calmness begins when you stop treating temporary emotions as permanent truth. Another reason people panic when life falls apart is because we secretly believe life should always be stable. We grow up expecting things to move smoothly. Career growth, friendships, success, happiness, all in a straight line. But reality doesn't work like that. Every strong person you admire has gone through periods where nothing made sense. The difference is they didn't interpret chaos as the end of their story. They saw it as a difficult chapter. Sometimes staying calm means accepting something uncomfortable. You cannot control everything. You cannot control how others behave, unexpected failures, timing, or sudden changes, but you can control how much energy you give to panic. The moment you stop fighting reality and start facing it, your mind becomes lighter. Acceptance is not giving up. Acceptance is saying, this is happening right now, and I will deal with it step by step. When everything feels overwhelming, your brain tries to solve your entire life at once. That's exhausting. Instead, shrink your focus. Ask yourself one small question. What is the next manageable thing I can do today? Not next year, not forever, just today. Maybe it's making one phone call, finishing one task, drinking water, going for a walk, or simply resting properly. Small actions rebuild stability faster than big emotional decisions. People often underestimate how much physical state affects emotional calmness. When stress hits, sleep becomes poor, Eating habits change and movement stops. Then anxiety grows stronger because the body itself is tired. Sometimes calmness doesn't begin with deep thinking. It begins with basic care. Drink water, step outside, stretch your body, slow breathing. These simple actions send signals to your brain that you are safe, and when your body feels safer, your thoughts follow. Another hidden truth is that during difficult times, your inner voice becomes harsher. You start blaming yourself for everything. You replay mistakes again and again. You compare yourself with people who seem successful or happy. But imagine speaking to a friend the way you speak to yourself during hard times. You probably wouldn't. Calmness grows when you change that inner conversation. Instead of saying, "I'm failing," try saying, "I'm going through something difficult and I'm learning." That small shift changes emotional pressure dramatically. There's also something important people rarely talk about. Uncertainty hurts more than failure. Humans can handle bad news better than unclear situations. Waiting, not knowing, imagining outcomes, that's what creates mental chaos. When you notice yourself overthinking unknown outcomes, gently bring your attention back to the present moment. Right now, in this exact moment, are you safe? Are you breathing? Are you still moving forward? Most of the time, the answer is yes. Calm people learn to separate facts from fears. Facts are real events. Fears are stories our mind creates about the future. Losing a job is a fact. Thinking my life is ruined forever is fear. An argument with someone is a fact. Thinking everyone will leave me is fear. When you learn to recognize this difference, anxiety starts losing its grip. Another powerful habit during chaotic times is limiting how much negativity you consume. When life already feels heavy, constantly scrolling through bad news, comparisons, or stressful content adds fuel to the fire. Your brain doesn't know the difference between real danger and repeated negative information. Protecting your mental space is not avoidance, it's emotional intelligence. You might also notice that when everything falls apart, loneliness feels stronger. Even if people are around you, you may feel misunderstood. This happens because struggle often feels personal, but opening up to even one trusted person can reduce emotional weight instantly. Humans are not designed to carry stress alone. Sharing doesn't make problems disappear, but it reminds you that you're not isolated inside them. Here's something deeply important. Calmness is not the absence of emotion. You are allowed to feel scared, angry, disappointed, or tired. Trying to suppress emotions usually makes them stronger later. True calmness comes from allowing feelings without letting them control your actions. You can feel anxious and still move forward. You can feel uncertain and still take small steps. Many times, life falling apart is actually life rearranging things you outgrew. At first, it feels like loss. Later, it becomes direction. Jobs end and lead to better opportunities. Relationships change and teach self-respect. Failures reveal strengths you didn't know existed. But while you're inside the struggle, it's hard to see meaning. That's normal. You don't need to understand everything immediately. A grounding technique that works surprisingly well is focusing on what remains stable. When chaos happens, we focus only on what's broken, but something always remains. Your skills, your experiences, people who care, lessons learned, or simply your ability to try again. Stability exists even during uncertainty. We just forget to notice it. Another thing that steals calmness is rushing recovery. We expect ourselves to bounce back instantly, but healing and rebuilding take time. Progress during hard periods often looks slow and invisible. Some days surviving is enough. Some days resting is progress. Being patient with yourself prevents additional stress created by unrealistic expectations. You may also need to let go of the idea that you must appear strong to everyone. Real strength often looks quiet. It looks like continuing despite fear. It looks like asking for help. It looks like taking breaks instead of burning out. Strength is flexibility, not constant toughness. When everything is falling apart, routines become powerful anchors. Even small routines, waking up at a similar time, organizing your space, exercising for 10 minutes, create predictability. Predictability tells your brain that not everything is out of control. Structure creates calm even when circumstances are unstable. Another mindset shift that helps is understanding that setbacks do not erase your past progress. One bad phase doesn't cancel years of effort. One mistake doesn't define your future. Life moves in waves, not straight lines. Calm people remind themselves that temporary regression is part of long-term growth. Gratitude during hard times might sound unrealistic, but it doesn't mean ignoring problems. It simply means recognizing small good moments that still exist. A peaceful morning, supportive message, warm meal, or quiet evening. These moments act like emotional oxygen during stressful periods. Sometimes the biggest source of stress is trying to predict how long the struggle will last. The truth is, nobody knows, but worrying about duration adds unnecessary suffering. Instead of asking, when will this end? Try asking, how can I handle today better? Life becomes manageable again when reduced to present steps. You should also remember that your mind believes what you repeatedly tell itself. If every day you repeat thoughts of defeat, hopelessness grows stronger. But if you consistently remind yourself that challenges are temporary and solvable, resilience slowly builds. Calmness is trained through repetition. There will be moments when you feel like giving up completely. During those moments, don't make